powerful weather system, driven by a persistent atmospheric trough and a cold front, has unleashed a deluge across the northern province of Puerto Plata, leaving communities submerged, infrastructure shattered, and thousands of residents in a state of emergency. The Emergency Operations Center, COE, has officially placed the province under red alert, the highest level of warning, as rainfall totals exceeded historic averages for the month of April. What began as a seasonal rainy period has transformed into a natural disaster that has paralyzed the Amber Coast. The crisis reached a tipping point over the last 48 hours, when the region's primary river systems, including the Yásica, Bajabonico, and Camú, burst their banks. In the municipality of Imbert, the rushing waters bypassed traditional containment, sweeping through residential streets and forcing families to abandon their homes with only the clothes on their backs. "We have never seen the water rise this fast," said Maria Rodriguez, a resident of the Sabalo sector. "In less than an hour, the river was inside my kitchen. We had to climb to the roof to wait for the civil defense." The provincial capital and tourist hubs have not been spared. In San Felipe de Puerto Plata, urban drainage systems were overwhelmed, turning main avenues into navigable rivers. A critical infrastructure failure was reported near the local pier, where a section of the bridge providing access to the Dominican Navy, Armada, facilities collapsed under the pressure of the torrent. Authorities have also closed several secondary roads connecting Luperón and Guananico due to landslides and fallen trees, effectively isolating several rural communities. Puerto Plata, a crown jewel of Dominican tourism, has seen its daily operations grind to a halt. The Committee for Prevention, Mitigation, and Response, PMR, has taken the drastic measures. All rivers, waterfalls, including the famous 27 Charcos de Damajagua, and inland bathing areas are strictly closed to the public. Red flags have been hoisted at El Pueblito and Cangrejos beaches due to dangerous swells and debris runoff. While the Gregorio Luperón International Airport remains operational, several flights have faced delays due to low visibility and severe thunderstorms. The civil defense, along with the fire department and the military, has been working around the clock. Rescue teams using high-clearance vehicles and rubber dinghies have evacuated over 500 families in Montellano and Sosua. Provincial Governor Claritza Rochat has called for calm, but urged residents in low-lying areas to seek refuge immediately. "The ground is saturated," she warned during a press briefing. "Even a small amount of additional rain could trigger more landslides. Please do not wait until the water is at your door to leave." The agricultural sector has taken a massive hit. Thousands of tasks of farmland dedicated to plantains and livestock in the western municipalities are currently underwater. Local business owners in the historic center are also assessing the damage as floodwaters seeped into shops and restaurants, threatening the region's post-pandemic economic recovery. The National Meteorological Office, ONAMET, predicts that the trough will remain stationary over the northern coast for at least another 24 to 36 hours. Residents are told to expected continued heavy downpours. Accumulations could reach an additional 4 to 6 inches in mountainous areas. Frequent lightning and gusty winds are expected to continue through Tuesday. As the province remains under a state of emergency, the spirit of Puerto Plateños is being tested once again. Local churches and community centers have opened their doors as temporary shelters, providing food and dry clothing to those displaced by the relentless rains. The coastal municipality of Luperón is facing one of its most severe environmental crises in recent years. Following a relentless 48-hour barrage of tropical downpours, triggered by a stationary atmospheric trough and a cold front, the region has been declared a disaster zone. As of April 12, 2026, floodwaters have breached residential barriers, destroyed vital infrastructure, and isolated entire communities along the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. The Emergency Operations Center, COE, has maintained a red alert for the entire province of Puerto Plata, with Luperón being identified as one of the hardest-hit ground zero locations. The primary catalyst for the devastation has been the catastrophic rise of the Bajabonico River. Fed by massive runoff from the northern mountain ranges, the river exceeded its maximum capacity early this morning. The resulting surge swept through low-lying agricultural plains and into the urban center of Luperón. In the sectors of La Isabela and El Castillo, water levels were reported to have reached nearly 5 feet inside homes. "We lost everything in a matter of minutes," said Josefa Manuel, a local resident. "The river didn't just rise, it rushed through our streets like a sea. We had to climb to the second floor of the church to stay dry." The flooding has effectively severed Luperón from the rest of the province. Local authorities report that several small bridges and culverts in the rural outskirts have collapsed or are dangerously undermined by erosion. The main highway connecting Luperón to Imbert and San Felipe de Puerto Plata is currently impassable due to multiple landslides and deep water accumulation at the El Estrecho junction. Intermittent power outages and damage to fiber optic cables have left parts of the municipality with limited cellular and internet service. Known for its world-class natural harbor and marina, Luperón's maritime sector is on high alert. The Luperón Yacht Club and local docks have seen significant debris runoff from the inland floods. Authorities have prohibited all small craft movement within the bay due to the high volume of floating logs and debris brought down by the rivers. The famous Bahia de Luperón beach area has been closed to the public as the water quality has plummeted due to sediment and urban runoff. The civil defense, supported by the Dominican Navy, Armada, has launched a large-scale evacuation mission. High-clearance military trucks and rubber boats have been deployed to rescue families trapped in the Ranchito de los Peraltas and Beloso communities. Provincial Governor Claritza Rochte has confirmed that 3 official shelters have been opened in Luperón, currently housing over 400 displaced individuals. "Our priority is preserving life," the governor stated. "We are working with the Ministry of Public Works to restore access as soon as the water recedes, but the ground remains extremely unstable." The economic impact on Luperón is expected to be staggering. The region's vast plantain and corn plantations are almost entirely submerged, representing a total loss for hundreds of small-scale farmers. Furthermore, the local fishing industry has been halted, with many small boats damaged by the sudden surge in the harbor. The government, through the economic community of the state and the social assistance plan, has established emergency routes. The main distribution center, located at the Luperón Municipal Gymnasium, now serves as a logistics warehouse for prepared food, clean water, and mattresses. Helicopters from the Dominican Republic Air Force, FARD, have been placed on standby at a nearby military base in case land routes are completely cut off for delivering medical supplies to the Beloso and La Isabela sectors. Due to the debris-ridden condition of the docks, small boats from the Navy are being used to reach coastal communities isolated by the overflowing river. A small bridge in the El Estrecho sector has suffered structural damage to its foundation. Heavy vehicles are prohibited from using it. This route remains the most critical point due to several landslides. Heavy equipment from the Ministry of Public Works, MOPC, is attempting to clear the debris, but continued rain is hampering the cleanup process. The road remains completely cut off in several locations because the Bajabonico River still covers the road. Sections of the access bridge to the Armada headquarters at Puerto Plata's main pier remain collapsed, restricting the movement of military supplies by land in the area. Residents are strictly prohibited from attempting to cross the flooded bridge, even if the current appears calm, due to the high risk of erosion of the soil beneath the asphalt. Residents of Bonao, the capital of Monseñor Nouel province, were amazed when a rare and powerful hailstorm hit the region today, April 12, 2026. The phenomenon, which is highly unusual for this tropical central region, was accompanied by severe thunderstorms and gusty winds, transforming the normally lush green landscape into a scene covered in white ice pellets. The hailstorm began in the mid-afternoon, following several hours of oppressive heat. Rapidly developing cumulonimbus clouds, fueled by a stationary atmospheric trough, triggered a sudden drop in temperature. Witnesses in the city center and the sectors of Los Solares and Prosperidad reported hearing a deafening roar as ice pellets, some the size of marbles, began striking metal roofs and vehicles. At first, I thought it was just heavy rain, but then the sound changed. It sounded like stones hitting the house. said Ramon Tejeda, a local shopkeeper. When I looked outside, the street was white. We don't see this in Bonao. While the hail was short-lived, lasting approximately 15 to 20 minutes, the accompanying winds and torrential rain have caused significant local disruptions. The ice pellets briefly clogged drainage grates, contributing to rapid water buildup on main avenues. Monseñor Nouel is a key agricultural hub. Farmers in the high-altitude areas of the province are currently assessing potential damage to sensitive crops like tobacco and vegetables, which can be easily bruised by falling ice. Several neighborhoods reported intermittent power failures as tree branches, weighed down by the water and ice, came into contact with electrical lines. According to the National Meteorological Office, ONEMET, this event was caused by extreme atmospheric instability. Current weather data from time and date shows that Bonao has been experiencing high humidity, up to 100%, and temperatures peaking at 32 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, before the storm hit. The collision of warm, moist air from the valley with cooler air in the upper atmosphere created the perfect conditions for hail formation. Weather Underground reports that while the hail has ceased, there is still a 100% chance of rain for the remainder of the evening, with more thunderstorms expected throughout the week. The Civil Defense in Bonao has deployed teams to clear debris and assist families whose homes may have suffered roof damage from the impact. Authorities have issued reminders for the community. Avoid going outside during active hailstorms to prevent injuries from falling ice. Ensure that vehicles are parked under cover and that loose outdoor items are secured against high winds. Keep a close watch on the Yuna River and its tributaries, as the combined runoff from the hail and rain could lead to rapid rises in water levels.
Dios. Sí,